Hey, what's going on everyone? Joe here from Roads Less Traveled. Today we are going to do the JD Jet Kit, the exhaust, and a 3x3 mod. Alright, time to get the bike up. Well, this is unfortunate. Got caught in the rain. Yeah. Oh, thank you. Right here, I've got the JD Jet Kit. I went with the Yoshimura slip-on RS3. So we're going to go ahead and get started on that. So I went ahead and took the panniers off as well as the tank bag. We're going to go ahead and take this side panel off. We'll take the seat off. Once we have that, we'll expose the two bolts that we need here for the gas tank, and then the other two are just going to be here to take the whole thing off with the plastics as well. Other side. There we go. Pull back. Seat comes right out. Just loosen the two bolts. It popped up a little bit, so now I should be able to do that. Slide it forward. Alright, so now we got the gas tank off, seat off, side plastics off. We got room to work. I'm going to go ahead and do the exhaust first. Took the heat shield off as well as the clamp. And I'm sorry, this bolt right here. Now I'm just working on this top bolt. Once that's out, we should be able to go ahead and pull this exhaust off. There we go. Little twists, little turns. One more box station. There it is, the new exhaust. I'm gonna open everything up and put it together and we'll get it on the bike. So it was a little bit of a pain sliding it in there, especially with the Tusk pannier rack on there, but we got it in. A couple of little scratches on the back because I did not realize that this quick release mount was rubbing on it, but what are you gonna do? Got my Loctite and put that middle bolt in and tightened the clamp here behind the heat shield, put the heat shield on, and then put this top bolt on with the spacer. Now that that is good, I came over here and already removed the snorkel out of the top. Got that right here, just pulled right out, wasn't very hard. Took my air filter out, so got a good space to work with. And now we're going to do the 3x3 mapped out in my dirt here. I'm going to kind of cut straight here and across. So I'm going to grab my razor blade, heat it up, and get cutting. So there is the finished product, 3x3 mod done. Just used my torch here, heated up the razor blade, cut right through. Not hard at all. Now it is time to move on to the jet kit. Just opened it up, got my needles, jets, and the new bolts that they give you to replace the JIS screws. First things first, I am going to loosen this zip tie here, and this one here, the throttle cables go through there. This way that will loosen them up back here, so I can loosen these clamps for the boots on the front and back of the carb and tilt the carb towards me so I can get into the top here to get the diaphragm off and the needle replaced, and then we'll move on to the bottom part. where the jets go. So I'm going to loosen that up and see if I can't free up the carb to tilt towards me, give me some space to work. Quick update. So I had to take the throttle cables out of the bracket here because I couldn't turn it enough. Obviously you can see that did plenty. Now I got the carb turned. I took the lid off, which is down here. This spring is attached to it. And be careful, this O-ring right here, apparently if that is not there, the bike won't run. So make sure that does not go anywhere. Took the diaphragm out, grabbed my needle nose pliers, and just pulled this white plastic piece off, which allowed me to get the needle out from in there. Now I have my new needle here, the blue needle. They give you this nice chart here. So I got the blue needle in the 4th position because of the elevation, which I'm in Charleston, so lack thereof elevation. But I have put everything back together, thick washer on the bottom, plastic spacer, clip, and then thin washer on the top. Drop this needle back into the diaphragm here, and then put this back on. Alright, well, that seemed to work. I just used the pliers, kind of push it in the same way I pulled it out. So that should be that. Now I'm going to pop this back in the top here and tighten it back up, and we'll spin the carb and work on the bottom. Alright, as you can see, just put the spring back on, the diaphragm slid back in, put the spring back on, put the cover. Now I'm trying to rotate it to get to the bottom here. Not having great luck. So I wish I had realized this first, but I can't get the carb turned enough because of this. So I took the bolt out, moved it, it helps some. But the exhaust is in the way, which I already had off. I wish I had realized this before I put the new exhaust on, but I didn't. So what I'm gonna do, get the slip-on off, move this, turn the carb, put the pilot and main jet in, put it back on, put this on, put the exhaust on. Then we'll be good to go. Minor hiccup, but just a little extra work. Alright. What a pain in the ass. Alright, the update is I got the exhaust off, moved that box out of the way, obviously got this turned, got the bottom bulb off. It was not fun. I had a false sense of hope. 2 of those JIS screws I got out no problem. There is one of them on the ground if you can see it. Here is a piece of one, and there's the head because I had to drill it out. I have to drill out the other side as well. So I got the 2 front ones, no problem. These 2 I had to drill out. I changed the pilot jet here, and then the main jet here, so that is good. I did the 160. And then the pilot is the 25. I'm gonna go ahead and put the bulb back on the bottom here, and then I just have to drill this out to get to the fuel screw. We'll see how it goes. Alright, I don't know how well you can see that if it's focused in on there, but I put the bottom bulb back on. The last step right there, there is a plug. You just got to drill it out. And I just put a screw in there and then plucked it out with pliers and turn it all the way in. That's the fuel screw. You'll turn it all the way in till it's slightly seated and then back it out 2.5 turns, and that should be it. So we had our excitement last night of drilling out those 2 JIS screws. I had a false sense of hope when the first 2 came out just fine, but I got them drilled out. Carb is buttoned up. I rejetted it and did all that good stuff. Back in the right place. I tightened everything up, put the exhaust back on, and everything should be ready to go. We're gonna toss the gas tank on. Fingers crossed she starts up. Gas tank's back on. The attach the vacuum line, the petcock line, fuel line from the petcock, I'm sorry, back to the carb. Set it to prime since it's empty. We're gonna give it a start. Well, apparently I did something right. Let's put this to on. Make sure no gas is leaking from the carb or anything. Well, there she is. Runs no problem. That exhaust sounds fantastic. All right. Well, all that we got to do now is put that plastic piece back on, tighten down the tail rack here, put the seat back on, and take her for a test drive. I'm excited. That sounds awesome. I am a mediocre mechanic at best, and besides the having to drill out those 2 JIS screws, everything went pretty well. I'm excited. Let's get this thing buttoned up and get on it for a test ride. Ready for the maiden voyage, and this thing, it sounds so good. I mean, that is just a wonderful sound. Very excited to see how she runs. Nothing to it but to do it. Let's check it out. Alright. Seconds on my street. That airbox opened up, rejetted the carb, that exhaust. I mean, man, everybody says it really wakes the bike up. They are not wrong.